Love seeing Kulik, by the way, just taking the middle of the ice right off the bat, getting a shot on goal against the grain. That's what we want to see, Kulik firing that puck early on and getting the zone time like they've had for much of the first 2 games, Andrew.
There's an opportunity on the far side, a shot. That one glancing possibly off the pad of Gauthier on the effort there. Noah Lowen pinching in now. He's got to race back. Ponomarov with it, looking out in front, backhander, and McGroarty denied by Ratzlaff. Great save from Scott Ratzlaff in tight, just over 90 seconds in. Puck is punted up toward Caden Carlisle. McGroarty there, off to Hayes and returned, or at least intending to return to McGroarty, but it went through his skates. Puck stays along the corner, and it's Nikita Novikov sliding it over to Noah Lowen. Flicks it off the glass, up to center, and it's chopped off a player in the Buffalo bench. I think that was Ryerson Leanders, and we'll get a whistle.
So, as far as the game within the game, Andrew, we just saw a little bit of it there. So the puck comes over, Novikov stick at the blue line, Rutger McGroarty and Novikov. That's going to be a matchup that we're going to be seeing today. Rutger McGroarty, very big, heavy forward, really strong behind, below the dots. Novikov's going to have his hands full with him today.
Penguins jam it into the attacking zone again as Cloutier digs his heels in from the corner. Justin Cloutier with a shot. That one tipped in. Looked like it was going through the legs of Ratzlaff, but he kept it in front of him. And another nice save for Scott Ratzlaff. 1-0 on the weekend, making 20 saves in that 3-1 win over Columbus on Friday.
Ratzlaff coming in tonight with the mismatched gear. That's the same set that he had in a Seattle Thunderbirds preseason game before leaving for Buffalo. I don't know if he's going to be working out a new set of gloves on his hands, catching glove, but we'll see where he goes this season. Looks kind of funny though, right?
It certainly does. Expected to be back in Seattle this year, at the 5th most games played in the Western Hockey League last year among all goaltenders. As the Penguins chip it over, and early offensive chances for them. Pianiemi with an opportunity, and that one was steered away. Back behind the goal, and it's Ryan Johnson. Slid ahead for Nadeau. That one's forced along for Tyson Kozak. He gets in, drives wide, and is kept at bay. Nice check from Donovan McCoy. Battle going on behind the net. Gauthier keeping eyes on it, and it's forced ahead by the Penguins. Out to center, and that one is turned in by Matthew De St. Phal. We'll be seeing a lot of him and probably talking a lot about him today, Chris.
Yeah, very fun, energetic forward coming out of the University of Wisconsin. Fearless player, not the biggest guy out there, but he gets up in guys' faces and gets the job done. Earned himself a 2-year AHL contract coming out of college.
Gauthier rims it ahead to Atlee Calvert for the Penguins as they once again motor into the Sabres' end. This time no scoring chance. It rolls to Ratzlaff, and he'll keep it with 3:12 going in the first.
So with the Sabres down a couple defensemen here coming into today, we just saw Robert Kalisti, who got the call on short notice, made the trip. I'm assuming down over the border, getting ready for another Coast League season here. He's got 2 seasons under his belt in the ECHL, joining the Sabres for this one. So just got his first dose of action out there on the shift that just ended.
Yeah, and it's got to be a great opportunity for him. You think about it, at the end of the day, he didn't expect it. All of a sudden, he's wearing an NHL jersey.
It's got to be a pretty cool experience, one he'll remember.
Titolio coming in from the left side, drives it on the net, rebound pops free, and a good scoring chance. This one washed away on the save by Gauthier as that bid was coming off the stick of Ethan Miedema. Sent back into the Buffalo zone. Looking ahead, here's Komarov. Flutters a pass forward to Kulik. Handoff from Miedema back to Yuri Kulik, but the Penguins dispossess Buffalo and going the other way. Here's Beck from the left side as Tristan Brose absorbed a big hit from Komarov.
Rochester Americans fans, get used to that. Komarov likes to play the body. He's a big kid, very strong kid, not shy about using it, just like he just did on Brose.
A lot of talented players for the Sabres that we hope to see in the future have been developed and built in Rochester. As a great chance right off the hop. There's Kulik again at the center of attention. He's already got 3 goals on the weekend. Puck sailed back the other way. Again, a lot of players you're seeing in these Buffalo jerseys have worn the red, white, and blue downtown in Rochester. Had some successful seasons in the AHL. They hope to see that translate here just across the street at KeyBank Center.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Rochester this year. Just another year of experience for guys like Victor Neuchev, getting Wahlberg and Oslin in for full seasons.
Absolutely.
Kulik, Roseanne, it's going to be a very fun bunch. Retain some good veterans to bring in back. It's going to be a very, very good year, fun year down in Rochester.
And always exciting as well when you have a new head coach, and Michael Leone is that. He's the acting head coach here for Buffalo during this Prospects Challenge. Face-off won by the Pens. Pianiemi steps in, takes a shot. That one may have been absorbed on a block by Lowen as Neuchev gets it, sends it up the wall, kept in on the footwork of the Penguins defense. And there's a little bit more as a soccer kick punted ahead by Ponomarov. Lost it for a moment. There's Kalisti. We talked about him. On to Hellenius, and the Sabres' recent first-round pick gets it up, but brought right back in by the Pens. Twisting ahead, here's Buffalo. Transition through center. Anton Wahlberg looking to use his size to create some space. Hand off to Komarov. Gifted to Hellenius. Atop the zone. Takes the shot. Oh, and that one hit the crossbar. Consta Hellenius close to burying one there, and it finds iron.
Love seeing that play. Wahlberg protects the puck to gain the zone, kicks it high, gets to the front net, took the goalie's eyes away. That almost allowed Hellenius to score a goal there.
Great chance from a name that all Sabres fans are keeping an eye on. They were at development camp. They certainly have here at the Prospects Challenge. As Kluche burrows in on Komarov. Penguins with an aggressive forecheck. They get the puck back. They shoot it. Blocked out in front. It's on Wahlberg. Will push this one to center ice. Across for Owen Pickering. On to DeSaint-Fall, and that one is rattled into the Buffalo end. Johnson with it. Spent half his season in a Sabres jersey last year. 41 games did Ryan Johnson. As he heads off, Penguins get it in center. Klassen on to Kluche, and Nadeau will dispossess them, along with Kisakov and Kozak. They're in the zone. Cross-ice feed from Nadeau. Broken up. Pens the other way. A little bit of north-south hockey here as a pass on to Kisakov. Back in come the Sabres. And Alexander Kisakov looking for a pass. None available at that moment. Shot back down from the Penguins. They make changes on their bench. 13.5 to play. Scoreless first period. Shots 5-4 in favor of the Penguins, who get it out in front. Big save by Ratzlaff. He denies Atlee Calvert.
Ratzlaff dialed in early, Andrew, looking sharp, fighting through screens, just making, he shows very confident right now in that crease.
And stopping a guy who's pretty good at putting the puck in the net. Calvert with 47 goals last year in Major Junior. Meanwhile, Buffalo the other side with a shot. That one canceled out as it goes wide. Kalisti from the right point, guiding it into the glass. And it's back behind the target. Riley Fiddler-Schultz returning it to Kalisti. He sends it rink wide. And on the far end, this will be Calvert again. Pumping it up the wall, not able to keep it in, and going the other way. Here are the Penguins, a big shot, blocker save. Ratzlaff turning away that scoring opportunity off the stick of Logan Pietola.
You know, just to follow up on Ratzlaff, you can see him. He is tracking that puck all the way up the shooter stick into his body. That was another example there. Tough shot coming at him high. Great clean blocker save.
He's had an opportunity. We talked about Dev Camp and Prospects Challenge. You've seen him in both, and he seems like he's getting better with each time you get a look at him. And that's exactly what the Sabres want to see. On the other end, it's Beck. 43 in black and gold. Hand off to Ville Koivunen. And he's intercepted. Neuchev will collect at center. Looking for the stick of Isak Rosean. First round pick. Couldn't get it in his reach, so Bros has to go back and reach for the Penguins. Off the skates of a man. Skating ahead, here's Pietola. Wipes out, Rosean steals. Right wing side, and Rosean finds Hellenius. Sharp angle drive off the blocker and stick of Gauthier. Puck sitting in the slot. Found now as Komarov has it at the right point. Sent off the end boards. Picked up by Pittsburgh. And it's Beck. Just slowly lifts that one to center. And picked off from Anton Wahlberg, who jumps onto the ice. Overskated the puck for a moment. Pinned along the wall. A lot of speed you're seeing in this game on both sides.
Wahlberg's got some nice jump today. Looks like a nice rest day did him well.
Oh, what a save. Hellenius first the crossbar there. He goes side to side on Gauthier, who was able to extend the toe. Another chance. That one bobbled in air. Delayed penalty. Penguins touch up. Interference the call. Sabres are going to get a power play.
Pretty even game thus far. 7-6. Penguins have the lead. Shots on goal. That'll probably look a little different here with the Sabres getting a power play now. First unit looks like it's going to be Ostlund, Wahlberg, and Hellenius with Novikov and Kisakov. A little bit of a different power play look that we haven't seen that the first two games.
By the way, the call is Donovan McCoy. 2 minutes interference. We have seen Buffalo's power play show some of its prowess over this weekend. Kulik not out there with the starting five as mentioned. And the Penguins do win this faceoff. And we'll send it up to center. It's knocked down from there and could be numbers shorthanded. Pittsburgh dragging it in. This is Ponomarov. Lost it around the boards. Hellenius Loses it back to Ponomarov. Across in front, shot. Ratzlaff the save. He bottles up the opportunity from Rutger McGroarty.
So that play right there, that was all Vasily Ponomarov making that play. That's the feistiness, the tenacity. That's why he had to be an important part of that trade piece in the Jake Guentzel trade. So Ponomarov, the only guy right now coming in with the Pittsburgh roster that has NHL experience, albeit 2 games.
Sure.
But you saw a little bit of that tenacity right there. He's a real just dogged forechecker, great penalty killer. They had 2 of their best offensive players out there on the PK. I thought that was interesting with McGroarty and Ponomarov up front.
I think you mentioned the 2 games, but you know, outside of that, it's great to see all situations. He's already won a Calder Cup in his career with the Chicago Wolves in the AHL, and that experience can help even in moments like this. Here's Nadeau skating out. So the Sabres power play resumes, 1:20 left on it, and Kulich is on the ice. So keep an eye out for number 20. He's on the right side. At the half boards, Kulich head up all the way as he finds Vsevolod Komarov. Return to Kulich. Hard shot. That one being waved at by Neuchev. It goes wide of the target, and the pen's clear.
I like Neuchev in that bumper position. We've seen that a little bit through the first 2 games. Seems like a good fit for that spot. They just have to find him now.
Nadeau, who has a power play goal of his own during the weekend. On the ice now. Back to Kulich, to Komarov. Over. Here's a quick shot, and Nadeau ends up, I think, getting in the way on friendly fire of Rosean's bid. Down to 45 on the power play. Kept onside by Komarov. Looking for it is Rosen as he pedals down to the half wall. Left side, Kulich is open. They shoot and they score. They don't go Kulich, they go Victor Neuchev. And on the power play, Buffalo opens the scoring. 1-0, 9:52 to go in the first.
Well, we were just saying, Andrew, that we were hoping they would find Neuchev in that spot. It wasn't exactly a bumper play necessarily, but it was leveraging probably the greatest attribute that Victor Neuchev brings to the power play, and that's his shot. Stick was down, ready to receive that pass from below the goal line from Rosen, and made no mistake once he got that puck off his stick quickly.
I think you also give credit, even though he probably doesn't get an assist here, Yuri Kulich, his weapon is shown even in that moment because it's the defense and the goaltender having to respect the shooter. Eyes in the back of your head, probably in the back of your mind too, and all of a sudden Neuchev given some real estate. So Victor Neuchev on the power play. It's 1-0 Sabres here in the first period. Rose drags it right back in though for the Penguins. He and Kozak collide on the far wall. Picked up by Fiddler Schultz, and Ty Tullio will pitchfork this in the attacking zone. Tullio goes to the end boards. Aided by Fiddler Schultz. So they try to get it out, and they do. Jammed away from the pile. Now Lowen just flings one toward the goal, and Gauthier with the glove save. 9:16 left in our opening frame.
Known more as a defensive defenseman, I thought Noah Lowen's been pretty solid here in this Prospects Challenge. He's got some professional experience. He was here at this tournament last year with Montreal, and you know, he's I just think he's a nice little depth player for this organization to have. Could get some Rochester minutes here, but a lot of that blue line, there's not a lot of room on that blue line for a guy like Lowen. He's got to fight tooth and nail, but he looks pretty solid here.
Yeah, and he's looked very strong. Michael Leone has even touted that in post-game media scrums here over the weekend. At just, you know, he's 6 foot, a little under 200 pounds, but he feels a lot heavier than that when he runs into the opposition. Cooper Foster comes in for a shot. That one smacks off the glass, caught part of the safety netting, and so we get a whistle and applause from the crowd as they hear the goal announcement for Victor Neuchev. Probably talk about Rosen getting that helper.
We wanted to see Rosen get it going, I think. He's a guy, you put him in that same bucket with Yuri Kulich. Coming into main camp here, starting on Wednesday, you want to see Rosen come in with a little bit more momentum, feeling good about his game. No casual plays. That's all you want to see, a clean game from these veterans. Again, this older Rochester-based team here today. But Rosen, big training camp for him coming up. So that was it was nice for him to get some confidence, get him on the board.
It does feel a bit weird when we're saying veterans at a rookie camp, but that is the case here for the Buffalo Sabres. Pass ahead, out the reach of Oslin, but the speed of Noah Oslin prevents the icing call. Finds Johnson at the right point. He swims his way through Foster, hands it back to Oslin, and pumped across the ice, but outside the zone for Novikov. He plays it anyway, and we get a stoppage.
Noah Oslin set to probably play some wing this year. You know, but I look at him and Hellenius, they're probably the 2 most complete centermen that the Sabres have in the prospect ranks for sure. Now it's going to come down to room. Is there room for him to get minutes? I think they have to just find him value where you can, get him as high in the lineup as you can, and that's likely going to be on the wing this year in Rochester. But he is so great with the puck on his stick, and he can play anywhere on the power play. We've seen him on the left side last year with Vecqua in the Swedish Hockey League, ran point from the right half wall, plays a little bit up top on the point as well. Very fun playmaker. Rochester's going to love watching him this year. 6
different teams with 6 different stories entering this weekend, and in the case of Buffalo, it's trying to find room. As a big shot from Sept.15 goes up and out of play. But again, back to that, Chris, I mean, you know, you have an organization like Columbus who played earlier today, and there's a few openings there. There's a chance to make your case. Not that that can't be said for the Sabres, but there is so much talent. Kevin Adams, the general manager, leading the way. Lindy Ruff back in the fold. And Buffalo has done such a marvelous job amassing all this talent through the draft and other trades through the years to be in the position they're in right now.
These young guys are going to grow together. You've seen Kulik and Rosane be handcuffed all of last year. This year it could be Wahlberg and Oslin as the next guy that get handcuffed, right?
Yeah.
And they're all going to win together on the farm. That's a great problem to have if you're the Sabres.
Absolutely. Spoiled with so many riches. Penguins have it on their far wall, and they yank it toward Ratzlaff. He makes what ends up being a relatively easy save, and not too much pushing and shoving in front of him.
Yeah, Ratzlaff 10 of 10 through a little over 12 minutes of play right now. It seems like a Seattle Thunderbirds game. This was a kid last year. He saw a lot of rubber last year. 35, 40 shots, 45 shots, hit a couple over 50. The team was a little bit undermanned, but for him to have a save percentage over 90% last year, that speaks to the development that he has. And again, the ability to track the play and see the puck. Second saves, third saves. Ratzlaff was there on many nights.
Stretch feed off the stick of Kisakov, but it rolls down and Gauthier will cover up. Now let's talk about goaltenders and the Sabres. As there's a little bit of pushing and shoving that appears to be dismissed, but Buffalo's shot suppression through their first 2 games has been marvelous. Ratzlaff saw 21 shots, made 20 saves on Friday. Ryerson Leanders only saw 14 shots across 60 minutes. So the defense has done a good job in some ways. As a result, it's a testament to Pittsburgh and credit to them. They've already got 10 on goal.
And now with the Buffalo blue line a little bit depleted, I think it's fair to assume that Ratzlaff, and if Leanders gets in, we'll see what happens. You know, sometimes they split these games. These goaltenders probably are going to see an increased level of shots today.
Yeah, a little bit more of a workload here on the Monday. That was over the weekend. Right now it's the case of the Mondays back to the grind.
Exactly.
9 to 5. But we're a little past 5. Anyhow, here's Buffalo trying to transition out their zone. It's poked right at the blue line. Komarov gets it in the hands of Nadeau. Skipped over his tape. And Pianiemi will go back to chase. Tullio and he mark one another on the end boards. Kisakov there. McGroarty puts a stick in between his skates and boots it up to Avery Hayes. On now for Vasily Ponomarov. They both enter the zone on the near side boards. Disrupted by the Buffalo forecheck. Tullio gets it back, and Johnson will motor ahead. Finds Komarov. Clubbed onto the twig of Ethan Miedema. And in the corner, sails it into the slot. Penguins are there to mark it. Rose going the other side. Linesman in the way of Ty Cheveldayoff, but both remain up. Miedema right in front of the Sabres bench.
Yeah, that linesman better watch it. Cheveldayoff's not one you want to mess with out there on the ice.
No, I think he's proven that. And there's just so many big guys in camp, it seems, this year. So much size and strength. You know, we were talking with Rob Ray earlier today about how that element of the game is still relevant. People talk so much about speed, but size can still matter in the NHL.
If you look what the Sabres did this offseason, a lot of the folks that are going to be gone from last year's roster were under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And they went and added some bigger players, whether it's Beck Mallenstein, whether it's Sam Lafferty, Obey Kubel, who might play a little bigger than he actually is. But you're right on that, especially the lower line, those energy minutes. Size does matter. Reach matters.
Absolutely. The ranginess, if you will, as Owen Pickering flung one toward the goal that was tipped wide as the Penguins touch up. It's with a hand pass in center. 6:08 to go in the first. A lot of whistles coming now.
Yeah, and you know, we were just talking about size, and on the Pittsburgh side, you just mentioned Owen Pickering. So that's a kid who's got a lot of range to his game, big body, coming out of the Swift Current Broncos program in the Western League. He was a kid in his draft year. Wasn't really thought of as a first-round pick. Was one of those risers, and his game has taken off. I think Pittsburgh's got a really good one here with Owen Pickering.
Runs in the family. His sister Avery plays for Colgate. She won gold at the Women's U18 Hockey Championship last year. A lot of hockey for mom and dad to watch, I imagine. Lowen guiding a puck up the wall, not out the zone quite yet. Pittsburgh continues on. Calvert now has one lobbed right in front off the side of the skate of Scott Ratzlaff. And now Oslin touches it ahead for Hellenius. On the left wing, he drives in, finds room in the slot. Hellenius gets Gauthier down, but shoots and hits the outside of the net.
Low center of gravity, used his edges to hold on to the puck and take it wide, and almost connected there from the sharp angle.
And he had his head up the whole time. Unbelievable hockey IQ and sense from the Sabres' recent first-round pick, one of 5 in this camp. Novikov to Oslin, they give and go. Changes being made for both Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Again, a 1-0 Sabres lead. Victor Neutchev, the lone conversion so far on the power play earlier in this first period that has about 5 minutes left.
Seeing the Sabres start to stretch it out now, having Neutchev at the far blue line. Didn't connect there, but it's something that's a look that we haven't seen much from the Sabres in the first 2 games. Really trying to stretch it out on the breakout. They've been kind of a little more compressed. Maybe a Neutchev would have been at the red line, but now he's at the far blue line. It's going to be interesting to see if they're trying to break a press here that Pittsburgh's bringing with their forecheckers.
It's also interesting to see what teams do in the third game of as many on this week. You look at Friday night's games, and I think it's fair to say that all 6 teams have moments of discombobulation, but now it feels like you can talk a little bit more about systems. These guys have been together for almost a week. Isak Rosén now off to Kulik. He scores! Yuri Kulik, his 4th of the Prospects Challenge. Buffalo doubles their lead. It's 2-0.
That's Kulik's house right there. We talk a lot about Kulik setting up on the right side on the power play, and that's where he scored many of his 27 last year. But that was right at the high slot. And that, before Kulik turned pro, that was his sweet spot. Right in the center lane there. So picking up a loose puck, quickly getting off his stick. Gauthier didn't have much of a chance there. And I think we're going to see another assist from Isak Rosén on that play as well.
I was just about to say, Isak Rosén showing up with Yuri Kulik, the dynamic duo for so much of last year in the Rochester system at the AHL level, as a shot taken from Pittsburgh that is wiped wide of the goal by McRourty. 2-0 Sabres, under 5 to play in the first. Pickering in the left, dished across the ice for a shot that got muffled on its way to the target, ends up underneath the goal line, and it's poached by Calisti. Left it in the air, but gloved down at center by Scooter Bricky.
Great name.
I had to say the first one. Usually I'll go last, but you don't forget Scooter. Here's Pickering with some room, takes a shot. That one got blocked, delayed penalty. Sabres are going to go on the kill, but a good block out in front, as Nadeau is the guilty party.
Yeah, we mentioned Pickering a few moments ago, and that was him again activating, getting to the middle of the ice to get a shot on goal. Just think there's something special about that kid. But a couple interesting blue liners that Pittsburgh brought here as well, with Harrison Brunick coming out of Kamloops. They really have been loading up on Western Hockey League defensemen here with some early picks, and those are 2 that we're going to be hearing a lot about in the coming years, both Pickering and Brunick.
Well, speaking of the WHL, again, Scott Ratzlaff, attention goes to him. He's got to get ready for a PK, and the Penguins do win a faceoff, and immediately he swallows up a shot by McRourty right atop that right circle.
Yep, read that one right to left, dropped into a butterfly save position. That puck's sticking to him. Last year, Ratzlaff, his first NHL camp experience, a little bit fighting the puck. They were bouncing off him. Not today. He's been very sharp today. I think he's seeing everything very cleanly.
Bends again. Pull a puck back, but Tulio steals, and that one is airmailed back down the ice. Remember, Buffalo with a power play goal earlier in this period, so the Penguins looking to match them. Sabres hoping to keep Pittsburgh off the board. Kulik's goal being announced, his 4th of the week. And Isak Rosén with a 2nd assist. Now it's chopped away. Oh, Hellenius was taken down. That's a penalty, and there goes the Penguins' power play. Consta Hellenius motoring down on McRourty, who appeared maybe a bit surprised at the speed of Hellenius. Reaches behind, takes out the legs of 94 in Buffalo blue, and we're going to get 4-on-4.
I like 4-on-4 hockey. It's fun.
We saw a lot of it in the Columbus-Ottawa game.
McRourty, though, yeah, I think he had no choice there. That would have been a clean breakaway for Hellenius to take that puck, get in there. I don't know if the Pittsburgh Penguins staff is going to think that's a good penalty, but I think that was definitely an instinct. There was a clean lane to the goaltender there, and it could have been quickly a 3-0 game before you know it. A short-handed goal, that would have been a little bit of a bag deflator for the Penguins. Kirk
McDonald on the bench for the Penguins right now. Both he and Michael Leone coming out of the USHL track. McDonald joining the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins staff. He was also, actually both these coaches were also coaches at one point in the ECHL. As Noah Lowen finds some open ice. Oh, he tried to swiftly shuffle his way through the Penguins defender. That was Caden Carlisle. 3.25 minutes to go here in the first. So we've got a minute of 4-on-4 and then over half a minute of a power play expected for Buffalo. As Ratzlaff goes behind his net, nudges the puck up the far wall, kept in by the Penguins. Again, 4 aside, so a little bit more real estate for both teams. As Brunick is marked, Hellenius lifts it from him. Outlet to Oslin, left wing side. Noah Oslin, a shot, bounces off Gauthier, pops free to the near side. Sent ahead through the stick of Saint-Default. And now off the skate of Kulik. 25 seconds of 4-on-4. Yuri Kulik flips it across the ice. And it's Novikov on the left wing side, lugs his way into the zone, pushed it toward the slot. Penguins there all the way, and dished up for what is now a 2-on-1. Tristan Brose, left side, looks across, shot, and they score. It's Brose to Avery Hayes to the back of the net, and on 4-on-4, the Penguins back within 1 as the score is 2-1.
Kind of an interesting play there. You want to see Nikita Novikov kind of deploy his attacking style. Takes it deep, goes down the left side, 4-on-4. There was no one there with him, so when he went to put the puck in front of the net, there was no Sabre there, but yet there was no one back either to cover, and that's what created the rush there for the Penguins to cut the Sabres lead in half. So 2-1 left here with 2:20 to go.
Now the good thing for Buffalo is they're going to get a power play in 6 seconds, so we'll see if they can once again establish that multi-goal advantage.
I'm not telling Novikov to not go on that play. You want to see him go. You just have to get the support.
Yeah, absolutely. And Novikov has that size, and you know he did it a couple times in Rochester where he drives the net. When you got a big fellow like that, you're not stopping him. So the power play does begin for the Sabres. As soon as it does, Pittsburgh chops it back the other way. Again, this is an abbreviated man advantage. Only 20 seconds left on it as we tick down to under 2 minutes to go in the first. Komarov twisting it back to Isak Roseanne. Wears an A in this game, has a couple of A's with it. 2 assists on both goals as Nadeau is forced to the outside. Roseanne entering the zone again. Pumps this puck around the boards. Power play is over. It's lobbed back toward the Sabres end. No icing. Neuchav getting it. And it's 5-a-side hockey with 1:30 to go. Komarov looks behind, drops it off for Lowen. Ahead for Oslin, and he'll just jab it in the zone. First to it are the Penguins. Heavy collision between McCoy and Tullio. Oslin going back behind his net, finds Johnson. Pivoting on the back skate, getting it toward Lowen, who was upended from behind. And out comes Calvert. He's taken down, that's a penalty. Atlee Calvert coming in on the left side, hooking the call, and the Penguins will have a man advantage once more.
Yeah, Tullio just getting the stick in there a little too far, maybe up on the hands, and
yeah, he doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, oftentimes that's going to get called if it comes up high in those hands. I think that was the case there.
You know, we're 19 minutes gone so early, 41 minutes at least left, but I think 2 very impressive teams right now. I mean, they look like they've improved as the weekend's going on.
Crisp, clean hockey, not as physical as the first 2 Sabres games. Been a couple collisions here and there and a couple scrums, but good, clean hockey, and they're playing fast. Both teams are playing very fast and decisive.
How about this for speed? Oslin, shorthanded breakaway, backhander, and it's steered away by Gauthier. Man, is Noah Oslin explosive. That speed is next level. Sabres float that puck back down the other way.
Yeah, with Oslin, it's all about, the technical skill is there, 200-foot game is there, very reliable. Now 10 to 15 pounds, that's what the next 2 years are going to be about him, and you have a very viable NHL forward.
Penguins tried to just take it right up the gut, and they got closed off on them as Fiedler-Schultz clears. 25 seconds to go in the period. And, costly turnover right in front. Short-handed again. Here come the Sabres. Fiedler-Schultz doubled up on the near half wall. And now it's Wahlberg there. Hey, you're killing time back there. Nothing wrong with that. Final 10 of the first. Penguins have about a minute to go in their power play. As it's driven in by Koivunen, Hayes gets the shot off after the pass. Save made by Ratzlaff. And Pittsburgh will bring with them a 57-second power play into the second. But the Sabres are the team with the advantage as it's 2-1 after 20 minutes of play.
Sabres had good jump there in that opening period, getting some shots on goal. It started right off the bat with Yuri Kulik getting to the center ice, missing wide, but again, I think that was a sign of what was to come here for the Sabres today. So 13-12, Penguins are going to take the shot on goal advantage into the break. Scott Ratzlaff, Andrew, seeing pucks, not tested with a lot of second opportunities because they're sticking to him. I think he's controlling his rebounds pretty well, and that's a good sign for the Sabres today.
He's made some good stops. The goals again, Victor Neuchev on a power play, Yuri Kulik, his Prospects Challenge leading fourth goal. It's not just the Sabres. He leads all 6 teams across the Prospects Challenge, which means now he's probably going to end it that way. 4 goals, and it is the difference maker right now in a 2-1 game. For Chris Baker, I'm Andrew Mossbrooks. We'll be back in just a little bit to get you ready for the second period here at the NHL Prospects Challenge. We're back at Lecom Harbor Center where the Sabres yielding a 2-1 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins after 20 minutes. With Chris Baker, I'm Andrew Mossbrooks. Important to note, Pittsburgh does have 57 seconds left on a power play. Ty Tulio sitting in the box for Buffalo, but I don't think you focus on the negative, Chris. I think you focus on the positive, and there was quite a bit there for Buffalo.
Yeah, I like the jump from Konsta Helenius today. I thought we were talking before coming back on. I could see him getting a goal today. I just think he's feeling it, looking very confident with the puck on his stick.
Absolutely.
He's never really a guy that dances a lot with it, but this is his version of dancing. Just very confident. Puck is sticking to him. Scott Ratzlaff, I think I like the way that he saw the puck. I mentioned it on the way out of the first period. He's getting ready to lead the Sabres back onto the ice here for the second. But I think also the Sabres defense core, 4 of their 6 guys that they were playing are back today. We'll see how they manage their minutes here.
Yeah.
Are they going to run out of gas? Is that going to present more opportunities? We mentioned it a little bit in the first period. Is that going to cause the goaltenders for the Sabres to see more pucks than they normally would? We'll find out as we play out.
We should mention, too, when we're talking about the defense. So, Calisti coming in today, Robert Calisti coming in. Jack Bodine is the one that's out, and obviously no update other than he couldn't go today. We saw him exit the first period Saturday against New Jersey, did not return to that contest. Noah Lowen at one point got bumped, and we weren't sure about him. Thankfully, he's all right. But Chris, we say that to say that when you look, Norwin Pinoka, of course, as well, he was the other one that ended up getting out and not returning. But this is part of the competition. The Sabres have an internal competition on their bench, but you think the Penguins, the Devils, the Blue Jackets, all the teams here don't feel the same way. I mean, and speaking with Razor earlier, you're never talking about individuals, it seems, from a team perspective during the season. You're always saying we, us, our, but there's a lot of me, myself, and I by necessity in camps like this to try and win a roster spot.
Oh, definitely. I think I look at Ryan Johnson, for example. He might say, I'm one of the older guys. In his mind, he's getting ready to make a push for the NHL roster. Well, his season starts here, leading the way for some guys that he's going to be competing with.
Yeah.
Like a Vsevolod Komarov, for example, his defensive partner here. But I think it also, at the end of the day, it's going to come back and breed better teamwork when these guys are going to battle every night down in Rochester this season.
Well, Pittsburgh wins the faceoff. Our second period underway. Penguins trail 2-1, but they have 50 seconds of power play time. Sabres have goals from Kulik and Neutchev as the puck is snapped toward the front of the net. Ratzlaff shuffled around with one of the defenders for Buffalo there for a moment. Pittsburgh is set up. Half a minute to go on their power play. Here's a shot from Bros, blocked by Johnson. Back behind the net, Calvert slides it up the wall. Penguins keep it on that far side. Back toward Calvert in his skates. That was Hayes, beg your pardon. And now it's sent up the wall again. Here's Tristan Bros, right side, flung across the ice. Picked up by Ville Koivunen. Shot tipped, they score. And it's Ville Koivunen with a shot that was redirected right out in front. Now it looks like that might be Hayes again.
I think that's Hayes again. Yeah, just a little redirect with his back to Ratzlaff. And all of a sudden now it's a 2-2 game. It's funny, they were looking to get McGroarty that puck on that entire power play. They quickly abandoned it, and as soon as they did, Avery Hayes right there on the spot for his second goal of the game.
So Hayes with 2, one at even strength, now on a power play. Both teams with goals on special teams, and we are evened up at 2. A goal in the opening minute of this second period. Sabres want to get back to it when it comes to the offense. Pens with a draw win at center. They bring it in. Matthew Saint-Default rolls it around the boards. Down low, handed off for Kluche. It's pestered behind the goal by Wahlberg, and as a result, they force a pass to get misfired. See communication here. Taylor Gauthier even just calling the defense back to pick this puck up. The Sabres sinking in on them to press that forecheck. Stepping in, here's an opportunity for Lowen. Shot booted off the left leg of Gauthier, and then it gets in front of him to hold on.
We saw it early in the first period, Andrew. We just saw it here early in the second period. Anton Wahlberg getting in deep. He's heavy on that forecheck. That's how he made his hay last year with Malmo in the Swedish Hockey League. Very good, using his body, working the corners, winning pucks on the boards, kicking them high, and getting down that center lane to get to the right in the front of the net. You're going to see that a lot this year from Wahlberg. It's a simple game, but it's an effective one, and he has the frame to execute it very well.
Played a little for the Amherst toward the end of last season. As Calisti, nice job from Robert Calisti there, forcing the turnover. Signed to Jacksonville this year. Calisti split his season in the ECHL during the 23-24 campaign between Atlanta and Kalamazoo. As Kulich presses in on his man. Puck behind the net. Gauthier with eyes in the back of his head. Almost 2 minutes gone in this period, and Kulich whips a pass up to Johnson, and he couldn't settle it. It's played offside.
A little bit of a fumble there from Ryan Johnson. You don't see that very often. Generally pretty sure-handed when that puck comes to him, but hey, maybe it's still summer ice. Maybe it's a little bouncy out there today. Actually, I'll tell you what, the ice has been pretty good here at Harbor Center all week watching these games.
Yeah, nice to do. And keep in mind, I mean, the outdoor conditions can affect it too. You've got mid-80s weather, which has been absolutely beautiful here in downtown Buffalo, but sometimes that can make things tough for the surfaces inside. Ratzlaff flips the puck. Komarov was close to him too, but Nadeau will get it from there. And on the far wall, Olivier Nadeau drags it out, bunts this into the Pittsburgh zone. After it go the Penguins defense. Merging on them are a couple of forwards for Buffalo, Tulio and Kisakov in the action. Nadeau with them on that third line here today. It's forced ahead. Now here comes Hayes. 2 goals in the game. Hayes on the right side. Toe drag. Fanned on the shot. Gets a second chance. Rebound sitting there, and they score. The Penguins come all the way back from down 2-0. Don't know if this one will be Hayes. I think it is. Yeah, they're saying hat trick. All right, Avery Hayes has all 3 Penguin goals, and it's 3-2 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you could have dropped that baby blanket on a few Penguins forwards right there around Ratzlaff. Wasn't sure if it was Hayes that knocked it in, but that whole play started there at center ice with Komarov just losing the puck, just a little sloppy, getting it off his stick, and they converge on. They jumped right on him to get that in transition the other way. You saw Hayes come down. Hayes is very slippery, very crafty. You've seen it here. Dangerous player when he gets a little room to operate, and he looks like he's going to get his 3rd of the day.
He had 9 points in 29 games with Wilkes-Barre Scranton last year, as Koivunen was decked with a heavy hit out in center ice, but he comes back, forces a turnover in the slot, broken up. Fiddler Schultz outlets for the Sabres. In transition, Cheveldayoff looks, gets across for Fiddler Schultz. Pass broken up in the corner, and the Pens yank it free. Koivunen drops it back to the defense. It's returned to him, spinning for a pass that he fanned on, and Cheveldayoff has it. Enters the zone, handoff, Fiddler Schultz the shot. That one absorbed on a block. Into the corner, they battle. 4-player joust. And it's up the wall. Penguins able to skirt this right out to the neutral zone. Johnson back with it. Ahead for Miedema. And they're going to say that one tipped. So no icing, delayed offside on Buffalo. Pens march ahead. Well, back and forth exchange of possession from both teams right now over the last minute since that Hayes goal. 16:20 to play in the second. 2 early goals in this middle frame from the Pens. 1 point again, they trailed 2-0. Now they're up 3-2.
Good support there by Hellenius. True centerman assisting his defenseman on the boards to win that puck and to regain possession here. Now they just got to get it out of the zone.
Well, Komarov doing a good job of harassing his man, keeping Cloutier from being unable to make a play. Gets it on a second chance. Took a little bit of a whack there at Oslin. They let it go. Komarov now plucks this off the wall around to Hellenius. He's bumped out to center, and here's Oslin. There is a delayed penalty. It's going against Pittsburgh. To the bench goes Ratzlaff, and as he gets there, the Penguins touch up, so he'll come back to the ice, and the Sabres will go back to the power play as a slashing infraction is spotted.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be McCoy going to the box here for Pittsburgh.
Second trip to the sin bin for Donovan McCoy.
Sabres going back with the power play that they began the Prospects Challenge with on Friday. I think this was the first unit out there with Gullin taking the draw. Nadeau, Neuchev, Roseanne, and Komarov working the point.
Well, this power play has been lethal and effective in the previous 2 games and today. Already a power play goal from Neuchev. Buffalo wins the draw. Komarov has it. And they try to gap out and set up. Puck bounces on Roseanne, but he's able to whack it down to Nadeau. Out in front through the legs of Neuchev. Roseanne has it to Kulich. He scores! Yuri Kulich, 5th of the Prospects Challenge, his 2nd of the night. And we are tied up at 3.
Child's play for Yuri Kulich in his normal spot. Usually it's the one-timer there. It was a little bit of a variation. He's got a well-rounded shot arsenal, apparently. That was a nice little quick release there from Kulich. Isak Roseanne on the left side had a clear look. It looked like he was going to fire a shot of his own, but he knew that his partner in crime was over there on the right side in his office waiting for the puck. fed it to him, and you saw the result. It's a 3-3 game.
And we're talking about the goals, the Neuchev goal, now the Kulik goals, but you cannot get the words Isak Rosean out of your mouth fast enough with how good he's played. Wahlberg gloves it down across to Oslin. So again, a 3-3 hockey game. If you like goals, we've got a lot of them. Hellenius hoping to add more on the left side. Plays this to Oslin. Spun around for Wahlberg behind the net. He's doubled up on and falls stomach first. Pietila comes out for the Pens. On to Calvert, drop pass. Here's Brunicka's shot. That one stopped. Delayed penalty, puck sliding through the goal mouth. And as Buffalo touches up, the Penguins will get another man advantage, just like their penalty slashing called on the Sabres.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be Hellenius going to the box for the Sabres. Brunicka coming down the right side. Very mobile defenseman taken in the second round this year out of the Kamloops Blazers. Brunicka's a player that I think, for fans that keep track of the World Junior Championship, I can see this kid being a player for Canada. And kind of an interesting story too. One of the very few hockey players that comes from the country of South Africa. You don't see that a lot. You don't see that a lot. I think Olaf Kolzig was the only other player I can think of that was born actually in South Africa.
Yeah. It just goes to show, it doesn't matter where you're from, where you're playing. If you're good, they'll find you.
I'm going to check on Kolzig. We need a fact checker here. I don't know if we have our crack crew, full crew here. Kolzig is either Germany or South Africa. We need to look at that.
South Africa.
All right.
Per Sam.
I love it.
Gotta love it. That's our statistician by hire. Just now we found that out. That's great. 3-3 hockey game continues. 90 seconds left now on this Penguins power play. Both teams have been good on special teams, especially that man, Avery Hayes. A hat trick in this game. He's on the ice now. And on the right wing side, he shuffles it to Pickering, who's going to catch it back atop the blue line. Flings one toward the net, blocked by Johnson, and he clears for Rosean, and it's numbers. Isak Rosean, shorthanded across. Kulik looking for a hattie of his own. It's broken up at the last second. Pittsburgh marches on. Minutes ago on the power play. They're back in. Hayes shoots. Why not? Rebound. Oh, and what a save. Scott Ratzlaff springing out, and he's able to make the stop there. Loose the other way. Rosean comes in out in front, and trying to jam away was Novikov.
Boy, Novikov up into play. If he would have cashed that one, that may have been an assist to Ratzlaff.
So all of a sudden felt like it was 3-on-3 hockey, just north-south, wild, wild west. And now we'll get an offside to settle things down a little bit. Great chances on both ends.
Yeah, we'll give you a breather, Andrew. I want to talk a little bit more about Ratzlaff there because what a save he just made. I'll tell you what, he's had a couple shots get past him here in the early goings of the second period, but overall, he's been outstanding today. Again, that was another example. You saw that a lot. He was under siege last year in Seattle. He had to be there for second and third opportunities, and that was an example there. He stayed calm in the face of pressure right there, and that's a good sign in the second year of his development.
30 seconds left on the Hellenius minor. Penguins power play has bared more fruitful this time for the Sabres with some shorthanded looks. Back behind the target, Fiddler Schultz is there, but he's hounded by Ponomarov. Gets in, then he's sandwiched between a couple of Sabres. That puck gets ejected out to center ice. Final 10 seconds, Hellenius standing on his skates, waiting to emerge from the penalty box. Pumped back to the Buffalo zone. Johnson with it. Power play expires for the Penguins. We go back to even strength in this even hockey game. Tulio will lift this one into the attacking zone. Wholesale changes made for Michael Leone's Sabres here on this Monday evening game. Tipped in the attacking end for Pittsburgh. That was Beck drilling it in. St. Default goes after it. Beaten to the puck by Buffalo, and Oslin will get it. Pumps the brakes at the blue line and twists it down for Hellenius. Awkward angle. Wahlberg was waiting to tip it in. And a nice pivot move made by Calisti at the line, but he blows a tire. St. Default goes ahead. Numbers for Pittsburgh. 2-on-1, broken up by Ryan Johnson. Great job using the skates, which he does so often to show his finesse.
His footwork's incredible. He made a play just before in transition, using his body. It's all about his feet. Got body position, won the retrieval, and there, that was all feet also, staying with his man.
Oslin got broken up at the last second, then Wahlberg almost picked it up, but he gets intercepted by Scooter Bricky. Drilled the other way. And our favorite name will head off for the Penguins on this line change. Here's Wahlberg. Bumped ahead for Nadeau. He's canceled out on the wall. Pickering scoops it up. And Owen Pickering moves ahead. Backhander steered off the end boards. 11:15 to play in this second period of a 3-3 hockey game. Tullio gets it, racing through center. Crafty move right in between his legs. Gets it in on Gauthier. He cleans up the rebound. And now the two teams trying to clean up one another with a little bit of extracurriculars happening. Gauthier will leave his crease. And I think that's maybe some of the most feistiness we've seen in this game so far.
Yeah, Sabres buzzing the tower there. You know, you want to see them get their hands dirty, getting the goalie's grill a little bit. It was nice to see Komarov definitely the most involved there, coming up from his blue line post, getting right to the edge of the crease. Big guy like that is definitely going to draw attention from the Penguins defenders, so no surprise there to see them making sure that they push him out to the best of their ability.
So Buffalo will have this face-off in front of Gauthier, who stares at it to his right. Taylor Gauthier, reigning ECHL goaltender of the year. 24 wins over 42 games, a .923 save percentage. He's made 14 saves so far this evening. Battle along the wall after that face-off, and it's forced to center. Novikov to Kisakov to Komarov. A little bit of wordplay there as Pickering will go after it. And oh, he is crunched along the boards. Nice hit by Ty Tullio, who was helped a little by Nadeau. Bricky in, a backhander slid over to Calvert. Rolls wide of the net. And Tullio scrapes it off the boards, plays it off the glass, and it goes down for icing with 10:24 to go in this second period.
Ty Tullio having himself a nice little introduction to Sabres fans, I think, this week. He's been kind of a versatile player, getting a little bit of penalty kill, scored the goal the other night. Definitely getting involved. Now, this was a player, too, prolific goal scorer his final year, especially in Oshawa up in the Ontario League. I think he's a player, as he sinks his teeth into his pro career, he's going to have to take on different roles, and it might be a PK, spark plug type of guy that he ends up being as a pro here.
He is part of the acquisition that brought Ryan McLeod to Buffalo. Matt Savoy, I should say, sent to the Edmonton Oilers. As the puck bobbles at the blue line on the Penguins. Out in center, McGroarty forces it back into the attacking zone. Oh, Ratzlaff lost it between his skates for a moment. Komarov to the rescue. And McGroarty steals again. Oh, this one nearly tipped by Hayes, who's been at the center of attention, but Ratzlaff able to gobble it up. And now Hayes drawing more attention.
Yeah, these teams are definitely starting to not like each other as much. They were playing a little bit cleaner game in the opening period. I think that's out the window now. But, you know, you want to see that compete. You want to see that fire. And these teams clearly want to win this game today.
Well, if you're the Penguins, for what it is worth, the season ago, they were the, I guess we can say, de facto prospect challenge champions. They had the best record at the end of it. And if they win here, they're going to have that again. So there's a little bit of pride there. But as we talked about, there's, I think, collective competition, team versus team. But even within the benches themselves, it's each player trying to stand out, even if it means from your teammate.
Avery Hayes drawing some attention there from Ty Cheveldayoff. Cheveldayoff and Hayes are going to go to the box. Cheveldayoff, to your point, coming in, played in the Spokane Chiefs organization last year in the Western League, did a little bit of everything, turned pro at the end of the year, now comes into Rochester as part of that wave of size that they're trying to get in organizationally, not just at the top club like we talked about.
Right.
Cheveldayoff represents a lot of that size and, frankly, toughness that they're going to be bringing to both Rochester and Jacksonville, for that matter.
So with Cheveldayoff and Hayes both in the box, they continue to talk across the way, but 4-on-4 hockey on the ice. So a bit more real estate for each team, and Buffalo will win the face-off in their own zone. Those are matching roughing minors, by the way. Kulik skating around in center as he twirls back for Roseyan. 2 goals for Kulik, I believe 3 assists for Isak Roseyan. Through center, it's poked off his stick. Now Kalisti will give it a go. Slows things down back in his own end. On Amerov, quick on his heels. And so Kalisti diverts to Lowen. A couple of ECHL defenders from a season ago. Lowen had some time in the A, but a lot of time spent with Jacksonville. And Roseyan now streaks ahead, breakaway. Oh, what a save on the blocker. Gauthier denies Roseyan, who just ever so subtly crept his way into that chance.
Kulik and Roseyan definitely getting the band back together today.
And here's Kulik, looks for a shot. Brunick absorbed it with the blade of his stick. Penguins march out. 1 minute to go on 4-on-4. Rose lost it as a pass was disconnected from him. And a stretch feed goes to Hellenius. Over the right wing side, Konsta Hellenius forces this one rink wide as he takes a hit to make a play. Ryan Johnson looking to take it from there. In the corner, he drags the puck behind the net, is then forced off it. Penguins race forward. 30 seconds of 4-on-4. Puck trickles to Ratzlaff. He'll just bat it with his stick into the corner. 8:20 to go here in the second. Up the wall, Pickering across to Bricky. And in the slot with some room, all of a sudden, here's a shot and they score. All kinds of room afforded to Ville Koivunen. And he makes it a 4-3 game for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Koivunen, another piece that came over in that trade with Ponomarov and a few others. Michael Bunting coming from Carolina in that Jake Gensel trade. Koivunen, big year last year with Karpat in the Finnish Hockey League, but you get that space and you have a good release like he has. You know, you pick that corner. A guy like that isn't going to miss too often. Highly skilled player Koivunen is.
And Pickering started that play as well, going point to point from the D, and then all of a sudden you saw Koivunen kind of slip into that deep slot area, if you will.
You know, it was 4-on-4 hockey too, Andrew. And we saw early in the first period, Novikov jumped up and it was 4-on-4. You're seeing the Sabres deactivate. There, Komarov was filling the center lane when Hellenius was up. You saw Ryan Johnson deep in the play on that 4-on-4. So the defensemen are definitely activating here. I don't know if that's something that Mike Leone is telling them to do, but I like the aggressive nature. I think it's something to keep an eye on as camp progresses here, if that's a tactic that they do. We're seeing a little bit of a change here in net.
Yeah, part of camp is getting everybody as much time as you can, and so Taylor Gauthier's night is done, and he is not happy about it as he slams his stick leaving the ice. Well, Sergei Murashov will step into the crease for the Penguins. Had 16 saves in a 4-2 win over Ottawa on Saturday.
Very good goaltending prospect here. 2 really solid years in Loco system in Russia. Excellent numbers when you look at him, but a big kid, former fourth round pick, but 6'2", somewhat athletic and aggressive. Watch him challenge shooters. You're going to see him come out and be aggressive here, Andrew.
Pittsburgh ices the puck, so he's going to watch a faceoff as Murashov very close to him. 4-on-4 expires. Rarely do you see a goaltender frustrated after his team scores to take a lead, but we go back to the individual competition and Taylor Gauthier. Maybe it was new, probably was the plan ahead of time with that be that these two goaltenders would split time, but Gauthier's line finishes with 15 saves on 18 shots. May have hoped to get a couple of those. So 5-on-5. Sabres down by 1 again. They erased that deficit earlier in this period. Tolio sends one to the net. Murashov's first save is on that. Kicks it over with the left leg. Neuchev twisting and turning his way on the far wall. Jams it into the corner. Kisakov lost his stick, almost came back and hit him. Penguins trying to get this out of their zone. It bounces high in the air. Lowen gloves it down to himself, so play resumes. Neuchev was taken down by Kluche. Puck nowhere in sight, no call coming. Penn settle things down, and play carries on. Here's Bricky from the red line. Slammed into the attacking zone. Ratzlaff behind his net. Plays it up. Calvert picked it off in the corner. Buffalo getting it back, and they continue to jostle for it. That was a nice shot block there from Lowen on the effort from McCoy. And now quick numbers all of a sudden. Nadeau on the right side, and it got broken up by McCoy. He saved a 3-on-1 for the Penguins. Calvert across, and it's Pietila. Back to Calvert. Left side shot. That one swung wide of the target. Up to McCoy on the right point. Jabs it down low. Calvert on the wraparound. He's hauled down. That's going to be a penalty as the Sabres touch up. A little more pushing and shoving behind the net. Fiddler Schultz involved in that exchange, but Pittsburgh expected for another power play. And seen a lot of penalties in this game.
Yeah, Atlee Calvert, you know, he's made a mark the past couple of years. It's not just the goal scoring, back-to-back 40-plus goal years with the Moose Jaw Warriors, but he's a blue-collar guy in there. Just kept his feet moving, kept his engines revving, and it forced reaction. There's a stick. I'm not sure exactly what the call is here from Ryan Johnson, but took him down, drew the penalty.
Looks like
again,
holding.
That's just hard work and lunch pail hockey, and we've seen that a lot from Atlee Calvert. The numbers tell you one story, but his hallmark has always been hardworking, blue collar, and you saw it there.
Lunch pail hockey. Never heard it before today. We'll steal it moving forward.
I'm hungry. It's dinner time.
Yeah, you and I both, let's be honest. My meal today was a slice of breakfast pizza and a Scooby snack. I'm honest about my diet. Penguins on the power play, up by 1. Sabres want to keep it that way. Here's a chance. Oh, out in front. Ratzlaff swimming in the blue paint, but the Sabres are able to break it up, and Roseanne skates out shorthanded. He's cut off right at the bench, and bringing it back in is going to be Pickering. Had an assist on that go-ahead goal. Across to McGroarty. Stolen and swung back down by the Sabres. 90 seconds left on this Pittsburgh power play. Hayes jumps in, looks across, right out in front. Backhander stopped as Ratzlaff denies McGroarty, but there is another penalty coming against the Sabres. This one's a hooking infraction and a 2-man advantage, and Pittsburgh's going to have some time to work with it at a minute 22.
Yeah, McGroarty driving the net. I think Calisti, hey, welcome to the game, right? Coming in cold. He's got to stick up high on McGroarty. And now the Sabres down 2.
Now this is gut check time for the PK of Buffalo.
And I think go with, what is it, timeout here from the Sabres?
This is actually the Penguins, it looks like.
Okay.
Well, Pittsburgh wanting to take advantage. They've got that 1-goal lead. We earlier saw Buffalo with a 2-goal advantage. The Pens have yet to get a multi-goal edge. Certainly don't want that to happen, but while they call their timeout, Buffalo's bench gathers together. Looks like Nikita Novikov, Konsta Helenius.
Noah Lowen, I believe.
I believe Noah Lowen designated as the trio, at least to start this kill.
Yeah, I think ideally Michael Leone would rather have Ryan Johnson out there on this kill with his footwork and his defensive aptitude. Of course, Johnson took the first of those 2 penalties that put the Sabres in this situation. But this is going to be a good test for Nikita Novikov here. This is where he's going to have to just stay in his defensive station, take away the shot lane to the best of his abilities, use his reach. Helenius, I like the look for him here. I think that this is a challenge that he's ready for. This is going to be fun for him.
So the Sabres in the box are Ryan Johnson. That's for the previous holding infraction. And now you have hooking against Robert Calisti. So we've talked about how shorthanded this team is on defense. They now have 3 defensemen by trade even available to use in this sequence.
Yeah, 2 in the box.
All right, so the draw to Ratzlaff's right. He squares up. Pens win it. Minute plus of a 2-man advantage for the Penguins. Pickering over. Oh, good stick by Novikov as he gets in the passing lane. Puck goes behind the goal. Lowen trying to get there. Jabbed away from him by Bros. Hayes is also on the ice. Avery Hayes slides it up to Bros. Minute to go in the 2-man advantage. To Pickering. Across the ice. Back over. Bros trying to get him to move side to side. Save made by Ratzlaff. He's trying to get back up. Bros looks across. Here's a chance from Hayes. McGroarty crashing the net. It went wide. Pickering with it. Slid across. Here's an opportunity for a shot. That one neutralized. Opportunity by Koivunen. Kept in by the Pens. Passing lane. Broken up by Helenius.
Great stick by Helenius there.
35 seconds in the 2-man advantage. Picked up by Koivunen. Left side in the circle. He waits, pivots, shoots it through the skates of Hayes. It's chopped at by Lowen, but recovered by Koivunen. 20 seconds. Koivunen across, one-time blast. Oh man, that one had some oomph on it, but it ran around the rink, and it's back down. That's a good change for the Sabres.
Penguins definitely looking to have Rutger McGroarty, kind of that Michael Merce position. Now, not with a little bit of a different look holding the stick, but he was there being a big target right in front of Ratzlaff, and they couldn't get it done.
2-man advantage, nearly coming to an end. It does now. Shot on. Ratzlaff makes the save. He denies Calvert. Johnson out the box, leaping ahead. He's going to go for the bench instead. And so half a minute to go on the Penguins' 5-on-4 opportunity. Calvert shuffles it ahead. It's darted into the corner boards. After it, there's Ponomarov. And now to Brunick, center of the blue line. He pivots right, takes a shot. It's wide. Ponomarov in the corner. Wrestled into the boards. Sabres steal. And what was at one point almost 90 seconds of a 2-man advantage disappears for the Penguins. Excellent kill from the Buffalo Sabres.
Love the work, particularly from Novikov and Helenius.
Absolutely.
On that 5-on-3 defense.
So 5-a-side hockey with 3:40 to go in the second. Now the Pens do still have that 1-goal lead as St. Default throws it across the ice. Pianiemi sends it in front, and Matthew St. Default finds the back of the net, even strength. He ends up parked in front on the right side, shuffles it by the glove of Ratzlaff, and the Penguins are up 5-3.
Kind of a strange play there. St. Default threw it over towards the bench. Nobody was there and just kind of went back towards the net, and the puck came back to him, and there was no one on him for a little bit of a finish there on Ratzlaff. But You're going to see that. I think that was, I don't know if that was a broken play. It's kind of hard to say. It happened very fast, but when D. St. Paul threw that puck over to the bench and no one was there, I thought the play was done.
Yeah.
And then he just made his way to the net and the puck came back to him. Needless to say, now it's a 5-3 Penguins lead here. 3:29 left in the middle frame.
D. St. Paul entering the first of a 2-year deal with Wilkes-Barre Scranton, so he's expected to start in the AHL. Goes after the puck here right after putting it in the net. Hauled down in the corner. Sabres bump it out to center. And from there, Wahlberg will chip it through the defense of Carlisle, who is treated into the boards. Back behind, Murashov able to reach behind his goal and plop his glove on top of the puck there. That's some battling going on behind him.
Anton Wahlberg again there, right at the doorstep.
4 goals in this second period for the Penguins.
Yeah, holding a 25-19 shot advantage. I think, you know, like, hey, you get some power plays, you pick up a little confidence, you get some momentum swinging your way, and I think that's what we've seen here, getting the Penguins game flowing for them here in the second period.
Penguins' 2 games have been a 4-2 win over Ottawa and a 6-3 decision against Boston. Buffalo drags it out in front. This was Nadeau creeping toward Murashov. He's forced behind the net and hounded upon by Pietila. Puck then bounces in the air, basically over top of the goal. Penguins live to tell about it. Pietila out to St. Default. Found it in his skates. Tullio sends him into the wall, crashing. And the Pens will regroup in center. We mentioned their scores through 2 games. Buffalo, a 3-1 win Friday over Columbus, then falling 5-2 against New Jersey Saturday in front of a sold-out crowd. Should mention those 2 of the 5 goals were empty netters.
Yes.
So a 1-goal hockey game really up until the very end. Nadeau finds Tullio. He's going to have a man across. Ty Tullio looking, and he nearly got Ethan Miedema, who was tangled up. Broken stick staying on the ice. Pittsburgh ahead. Chopped deep into the zone by Bricky. And it's up the wall. Played ahead for Fiddler Schultz. That's stolen. Oh, and there's going to be a penalty here. That's why the Penguins got it back. A holding minor spotted. And you talked about getting some power plays, Chris. The Sabres getting one here with a chance to cut their deficit in half. You know,
we've seen Pittsburgh here in the second period, not afraid to get their hands dirty. Getting to the net, getting bodies to the net, getting an ugly goal here and there, right? Getting a little scrappy. You want to see the Sabres maybe do that here as well. Just kind of get some pucks in the net, simplify a little bit. Maybe don't go for the pretty one. Throw pucks to the net, use your size. Put some pressure on still what could be a cold goalie. Murashov came in here. Maybe, I'm not even sure if he was expecting to play.
Yeah, and whether he was or wasn't, he came in about 7 minutes ago. He's faced 1 shot.
Yep.
2 minutes for holding.
So holding on Cloutier. Power play for the Sabres. Roseanne has it on the left side. Toe drag shot, blockered away by Murashov. Out to center it goes, and Pens could have a 2-on-1, but losing control was Ponomarov, and so Buffalo regains possession deep in their own zone. Here's Komarov. Minute 15 to go in the second. Roseanne gallops ahead with the logo at center. Forced to Nadeau. Right side, he'll jam it along to Roseanne. And it goes back atop the zone for Kulik and Komarov. Kulik with 2 goals in this game, under a minute to play in the period. Power play continues for Buffalo. Roseanne, a shot tipped on by Nadeau, and it stays out. Isak Roseanne gathers it once more. Peeling to the half wall, and up to Komarov. They look to give it back to him, and he does. Roseanne atop the circle, shot save. Murashov denies it, and the Pens cannot get it out. Good stick work by Yuri Kulik. Wraps it around for Nadeau. 30 seconds in the period. 45 in the power play. 5-3 game. Roseanne hoping it's 5-4 here. As Nadeau gets it to Isak Roseanne. Exchange to Neuchev. To Kulik. Now a shot on. Oh, save made. Murashov doesn't know it's loose. Still loose. Digging away. Kulik almost there. And it's broken up. Forced to the line. Not out until now. Pittsburgh throttles it back down the ice. That will probably do it for the period with 5 seconds to go. Sabres hoping for one last zone entry. They do bring it in, but the horn sounds. 16 seconds of power play time left for the third period for Buffalo, but a big Penguins period sees them up 5-3 at the end of 40 minutes.
Yeah, Murashov not so sure of himself there with that scramble opportunity there for the Sabres to pounce on. Like we were talking about, get those bodies to the net, get your stick on the puck. Good things can happen there. Nice play, though, by the way. We have to call that out from Yuri Kulik.
Absolutely.
The commitment using his feet and a nice stick lift to keep the zone. That's part of the development. Those are plays that maybe you didn't expect from Yuri Kulik coming in, but he's learned to play defensive hockey and win puck battles to get it back in possession. So that's something that's going to stick in your mind as he gets ready for a big training camp come this week.
Something he really honed in on the second half of his AHL season, pretty much post-All-Star game in early February, and Kulik tried to get as close he could to mastering that craft in the American Hockey League. It's nice to see some of those tendencies sticking with him here at the Prospects Challenge. So the Sabres are going to look to end it on a high note. We'll see if they can complete a rally and a comeback, but they trail right now where it counts, 5-3 against the Penguins after 2. We'll be back with the third period of play here at Lecom Harbor Center to wrap up the 2024 NHL Prospects Challenge. Back at Lecom Harbor Center, the third period coming up in the final game of the 2024 NHL Prospects Challenge. Pittsburgh holding a 5-3 lead after a 4-goal period in the second, highlighted by Avery Hayes, a hat trick for the Pens. Still some good stuff going on for the Sabres, though, Chris, and you have to hope for a rally here because we know they have the talent to do it.
You are hoping for a rally, and I think that the players that have been looking good here for the first 2 periods are the players that you would expect to look good, and you're going to need them to look good here in the third period. I'm talking about Yuri Kulich and Isak Rosén. They played off each other very well there, especially in the second period. I thought they were finding each other. We saw Rosén pass up an opportunity on the power play to shoot, pass it off to his brethren, who buried one from the right-hand side. Kulich returned the favor, sprung Rosén during a 4-on-4. Those are the players that we talked about early on. You want to see them have good games here to launch themselves into main camp. They're going to be graduating here from the prospects with the big boys here on Wednesday and Thursday. So those would be the 2 players that I'd be looking for.
I think when you look at this Sabres roster and how deep it has become, especially in the prospect category, you had to know, though, those were the guys you were going to talk about. And those were the guys probably with the biggest expectations going into camp. I mean, obviously, Hellenius coming right out of the draft. Komarov, you've got some excellent D and forward depth aside. But Yuri Kulich and Isak Rosén, we were just saying before putting the headsets on, it's kind of it's sort of their show right now. And that's what you want because those are the guys you think are closest to cracking the Sabres lineup.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, could we see Konsta Hellenius just pop at training camp here this week in the NHL main camp? Maybe,
Sure.
but I think the world is expecting Yuri Kulich, especially after the first 2 AHL seasons that he had. Still, it's just turned 21, I believe, right? Yeah, just turned 21 years of age in April.
Yeah.
So this is his time, but he's still a very young player at the same time. So actually, is he 20? I
think he is 20.
He's 20. I'm sorry, he turned 20.
And keep in mind, for those that follow the Rochester Americans well, he led the Amherst in goals back-to-back seasons. The last guy that did that was a guy by the name of Jody Gage. He's the all-time goal-scorer point producer for the Amherst.
A little bit of a legend there.
A little bit of a legend.
Yeah,
absolutely. He is Mr. Amherst. Stick broke at center ice. We should mention there is a goaltending change there as a puck from Komarov is spun on to Murashov at the start of the third period here, just 10 seconds in. He holds it. So Ryerson Leenders is going to play the third period. Now, it sounds like there was discussion all along. I don't think this is necessarily an indictment on Ratzlaff. It sounds like the plan was to probably get both goaltenders some action here, and we'll see what Leenders can do in the final 20.
Yeah, Leenders 11 of 14 in the 5-2 loss to Jersey. Again, allowed 3 goals. Didn't get a lot of puck touches. So this will be an opportunity for him. Again, I think he may very well see and have to call on to have another 11 saves here in the third period.
Great chance from Rosén as it was bellied up essentially by Murashov to get that one up and out of play with his stomach making the save. Sergei Murashov, a 4th-round pick in 2022. Fellow prospect Owen Pickering said he's disgusting with how good he is. Not good enough there, though. Victor Neutchev scores. It's a 1-goal hockey game. Neutchev from the right side, his second of the evening, and it's 5-4.
Again, getting shots off from the house. We saw that in the opening period with Neutchev connecting for his first goal of the game, and they're sneaking one underneath Murashov, right between the wickets there, to cut the lead now. The Penguins are only up 5-4, just like that.
23 seconds into the third, which is the perfect start if you're the Sabres. High-scoring affair here in Buffalo. 5-4 the game. So remember, Buffalo had a 2-goal lead to start. Pens erased that. Pittsburgh had a 2-goal lead. We'll see if Buffalo can get rid of it. Sabres have it. Konsta Hellenius right back to work in the offensive zone. Winds it around the boards. Caught up 2 on the far side there for Novikov. Now back up top. Allowing a shot, and that one blasted off the end board. Novikov in on the goal line. Flicked by Brunick behind the net, and it goes all the way back down. Pens clear it. That'll reach the goal line for icing.
Sabres definitely have a little jump after getting that early goal. You can see them moving the puck around, starting to really feel it, get more shots on net. Very confident chip there for that unit.
By the way, Komarov getting the assist on that Neutchev goal.
I believe that's his first point of the Prospect Challenge after a big offensive year last year in the Q.
I believe you are correct. Different goaltenders than where we started today. It began with Gauthier for Pittsburgh, Ratzlaff for Buffalo. It's now Leenders for the Sabres, Murashov for the Penguins, as he was beat for the first time moments ago. Kulik gloving a puck down at center ice. He and Neutchev both with 2. Kulik shunted into the wall, around for Roseanne, turns out in front. He almost got the stick of Yuri Kulik. Neutchev gets it back to Kulik, and Neutchev goes after a man. Down drops Bros. Kalisti dished across for Johnson. Left point shot, tipped wide. Race to the puck on the near wall, yanked free by Pittsburgh. Jack Beck has it, could have numbers. Across he goes, pass, shot, and that one may have been blocked off the stick of Johnson.
Kalisti pinches, creates an opportunity there for Pittsburgh. Victor Neutchev back, got on his horse, and helped defend it and make that even number 2-on-2.
So you have Gabe Klassen dragging it into the zone. Kalisti after it for the Sabres. Hops off his stick, goes to Tullio, up to the line, but not out. And Kluche with a shot, tipped on, bobbled by Leenders, and then he settles and freezes the puck. Over 2 minutes gone in the third. Sabres down by 1. Ryerson Leenders making 11 saves the other night against New Jersey. Turned 18 last month. He's one of the younger players on this Buffalo roster right now. Sabres used their final pick of the 2024 draft to get him.
Led the OHL last year in the regular season for save percentage. Has a new team this year, going from the Steelheads up in Brantford, or Brampton, to the Brantford Bulldogs this year. He's going to be the #1 goaltender for the Bulldogs.
Piniemi pinching in. Novikov seals him away. Komarov helping. A couple of towers back there on the blue line for Buffalo. And it's Novikov flicked ahead for Kisakov. Nadeau stepping in to help out. Alexander Kisakov on the wall. Leaves it for Nadeau. Couple of stick lifts get in there. Penguins gather upon the Buffalo offense, and they'll emerge from their own zone. Pickering, a defenseman turned forward right now on the rush. As Owen Pickering plays it into the corner, gets it back, turnover out in front, and a big save by Ryerson Leenders, denying Atlee Calvert.
Pickering showing his range. We talked about him earlier in the broadcast. Took it all the way to the end boards there and made a play to find Calvert. And now Ryerson Leenders is in the game. Nice point-blank blocker stop for Leenders.
Yeah, talk about a welcome in to this third period. It's a great save by Leenders, as the puck will slide on back to Murashov for the Penguins. Goaltender plays it to his defense, and they exit from there. To center, shuffled to Cooper Foster. Across the ice, good feed from him, and a shot attempt from Calvert. This one missed the net. Cheveldayoff will pick it up for the Sabres. Stick lifted by Foster, and now Cheveldayoff doubled up on, but Fiddler Schultz coming in to help out. Across for Lowen. Steps over the blue line, plays it toward the net, bounced off Miedema. They'll rim it to Kalisti from his backhand at the goal line, floating it back to Miedema. Pressed along the glass. Penguins knock it just out to center, but Kalisti is there first for the blue and gold. Into the zone. Brunick gets it. He's sealed away. Cheveldayoff still with possession now for the Sabres. Looking for Hellenius. It jumps through his tape. Wahlberg gets it on the right side. Down low for Hellenius. Into the high slot. Komarov has it. Shoots that one. Batted down by Oslin. They'll get it. Hard pass to Johnson. Return to Noah Oslin. Bobs through a defender. Takes a shot. That one blocked by McRourty. Back in the hands of the Sabres, and Komarov has it jump through his stick. To center it goes. And we're going to get a stoppage as there's a scrum behind the play here in Murashov's crease.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who that is. They're definitely going at it there. A little wrestling match right behind Murashov. He vacated the crease, and 2 players are in the net. Sabres with some sustained zone pressure there. It really started with Ty Cheveldayoff bearing down on Brunick behind the boards, forcing a turnover. But that looks like that was Hellenius getting a little involved there.
Carlisle was on the receiving end, but I think each player will get escorted to the box. It would appear that to be the case. Both for roughing. 4-on-4 coming up with 15:20 left in this third period. Well, Consta Helenius is going to be talked about and touted for his scoring, his playmaking. Not so much his feistiness there, but I think you like to see that because that's part of the game.
You want to see his attitude. He's got a little bit of grit and grime to his game. It's always been understated, just a little more hard driving as he goes out and makes plays, but nice to see him get involved. And he was the biggest takeaway I had from his first game on Friday was the way he was communicating. He was talking to his teammates. He's already kind of taken charge, and I think that's really important that he's getting involved physically as well to let his teammates know he's there for the battle.
So 4-on-4 hockey. Penguins still with that 1-goal lead. Koivunen finds his way through center. Creeps into the zone, gets a pass out in front, and they score. What a nifty play by Ville Koivunen. And it gets finished by Tristan Brose, putting the Pens back up by 2 as it's 6-4.
Yeah, Tristan Brose, just always an excellent player at every level. He's been at Fargo Force in the USHL. Went to the University of Minnesota, didn't work out there, but when he transferred to Denver and he started playing with guys like Jack Devine and some of their other high-profile players, his career took off. 2 goals the other night here for Pittsburgh at this event, and he's just an attacking forward. We're going to see Tristan Brose at some point in the National Hockey League for sure. You saw some nice hands there, accepting a really nice saucer pass from Koivunen.
Koivunen's had a nice game for the Penguins. Really, if you're on offense on either team, you've had a pretty nice evening. 10 goals combined. Neuchev, speaking of nice evenings, 2 goals for him. Lowen hunting a puck down to try and help Neuchev. Still a minute 20 of 4-on-4. You saw Pittsburgh just take advantage of that extra space on the ice. Want to see if the Sabres can do the same. McCoy comes out from behind the net. Over to Brose. And he'll just backpedal. Oslin on the forecheck, skating around in the attacking zone, but it's all Penguins puck. And there's Koivunen. Oh, and he is erased. Massive hit to Ville Koivunen. Enter Noah Lowen for the Sabres. And here is Noah Oslin. Probably the biggest hit of the game right there.
I would say so. That was a nice clean collision. That was a nice move by Koivunen, getting around in open ice, making a play, but he certainly was met by an upper body collision there by Noah Lowen.
A guy who spent most of his year in the ECHL, but wearing an NHL jersey, trying to take advantage and impress the right heads. Pickering at the goal line, 4-on-4 continues as D. St. Paul scoops it up behind the net. He carousels around the zone. Off to Pickering, right side, pressed a puck toward the net. Rebound sitting there, recovered for Buffalo. And Kisakov will wipe it out of harm's way. 5 seconds. Helenius and Carlisle exit the box. 5-on-5 hockey. 13:15 to play in the third. Breakout beginning for Pittsburgh. Off the stick of Calvert. Helped out by Pietila. On to Foster, through his twig, and Johnson advanced to Kisakov. Forwarded through to Tullio. On the right side, Ty Tullio has it pumped away from him. Buffalo regains possession, only for the Penguins to break that up as well, and there could be numbers, and is. 2-on-1 for Pittsburgh. Here it is, backhander, rebound almost tapped in up front. But it's cleaned up. Tullio looks at the blue line, peels off, didn't like what he saw, also trying to help with his teammates changing. And now at the red line. That one is airmailed back down the other way. It's Carlisle with it, fresh out the box. He and Helenius both on the ice once more with some speed. Penguins come through. It's Ponomarov who's on delayed offside. So this will give Buffalo a second or two to regroup from their own zone. With 12 minutes to go, Komarov gets poked. McRourty the steal, right side shot. Stopped by Leenders. Rebound settled by McCoy atop the zone. He fires, that one is punched away by the Buffalo netminder. Ponomarov to McRourty. Lost it, and Wahlberg will pitchfork this down the ice. Both teams making changes. Puck is skipped through the air, bumped by the elbow of Neutchev to knock it down. Hit from Lowen again, but Bros has it with speed. He takes the inside route, tries to cut in, but is marked by Calisti. I'll tell you what, for a guy that has not been here for all of camp, Robert Calisti has made some subtle plays.
I was just going to say, that was a really nice defensive play, and Bros had a lot of momentum coming in. His feet were churning. Calisti stayed with him coming in cold. That was a really nice play for sure.
Neutchev looks across the ice for his pass. That one is broken up. Lowen, blue line to blue line almost for Neutchev. Pass floated over, stopped by Beck. And it's Kulik with possession now on the right side. All eyes on Yuri and Isak Rosean. Shot in and out of the glove. Player knocked down for Buffalo. That's Neutchev. He's cross-checked. And the Sabres with a power play forthcoming.
Yeah, Isak Rosean, again, another quick, subtle release. It doesn't look like the puck's going to fly off the stick, but when he releases it, almost caught the goalie off guard there. Neutchev was there for a rebound opportunity, got taken down. And I believe that was, yes, Pianiemi. That's going to be going to the box for Pittsburgh. So Sabres coming out for a power play, trying to, again, get it back to a one-goal lead for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And it has been a back-and-forth game all day long, so Sabres well within their capability to claw back. Hellenius will take the face-off. Out there with Wahlberg, Kisakov, Oslin, and Novikov as the lone blue liner. Bounced back down the ice. Novikov forced to retrieve. Shots are 33-28. High scoring affair and a shooting gallery as well. Shots favoring the Penguins like the score does by 2. Oslin cuts in. Takes the outside lane. Sealed along the boards with a hard hit. Hellenius to help out. And now Novikov, center of the line, takes a shot. That one through traffic. I don't think Murashov had any idea where that puck was. And it's stolen by Ponomarov. He'll dump and change.
Yeah, Murashov right there with 6'3", almost 200-pound Anton Wahlberg taking away his eyes. That's something that we're going to want to get used to, Amherst fans, watching Wahlberg this year work the net front on the power play.
Nodota Kulik. He slides into the attacking end. On the power play, minute to go. Komarov glides to it. Left side shuffled across for Kulik. We have not seen the one-timer today. Here's a shot. That one batted down in front by Nadeau. He was whacked at. Puck goes to the corner. Now Kulik with 2 goals, but none from that proverbial Ovi office, if you will.
Yeah, that right flank there, where we've seen Kulik make a lot of highlights the past 2 years in the AHL.
Puck is flipped all the way back down. Half a minute to go in the Sabres man advantage. Trailing by 2 past the midway point of the third. Kulik is in. Left side. Slaps it off the end wall. Stolen and swept back down by the Penguins. This power play not as eventful as some of the others we've seen today.
No, not working it around, not finding the shooting lane really to use Neutchev. Again, he was in that bumper spot, just couldn't find him there. Again, I just wanted to simplify, Andrew. Throw the pucks, crash the net, kind of old school grimy hockey. I think that's what's going to get him back. We've seen Pittsburgh score a couple that way. Buffalo certainly has the firepower to do the same.
Pianiemi is out the box. It's 5-on-5. Pickering had the puck for the Penguins, almost sent it net front for a chance. Now it's Bricky. Well, that one, big block by Tullio, getting right in front of Scooter Bricky. Pietola has it on the right side. Broken up on the nice play by Calisti, whose name we mention again.
2 nice defensive plays for Tullio there. One getting a shot in the lane, or a stick in the lane.
Well, the Penguins score. A couple of defensive plays successful, yes, but the Penguins offense continues to threaten, and they make it 7-4, the first 3-goal lead of the day. It belongs to the Penguins, and that goal belongs to Logan Pietola.
Logan Pietola there on the right side of the net, just getting one over the shoulder of Ryerson Leanders. But before that, I was saying that Tullio was making nice defensive plays and then kind of labored on his way off the ice. Something we want to keep an eye on. I think that shot block may have stung him. But unfortunately now, 7-4 here with 8:20 left. Sabres in a little bit of a hole, but a little bit of time to come back. Got to get a quick one here.
Well, you hope that, you mentioned his struggling to get to the bench, that it's nothing more than the quick shiner, right? A black and blue or something, because we've already seen injuries in this camp. And mind you, there is a main camp, there is NHL preseason games and more, and you want to try and keep these players healthy as best you can. Wahlberg skates in for a shot. That one's canceled by the block from Carlisle. And Hellenius drifts to the top of the zone. Over for Novikov. Bouncer in front on Murashov. He looks around. Sabres keep it at top of the zone. Hellenius trickled down, right out in front. Oh, good chance. As Novikov was in the vicinity. Not afraid to pinch in as Hellenius sort of helps him on the back end.
Yep.
And he scores.
Really nice play. Yep. Hellenius, that whole shift really, the recognition when Novikov was up, then gets the puck back, they switch off, Novikov's come back to his blue line post, Hellenius goes low in the zone, big Anton Wahlberg right there with a stick on the ice, Hellenius put the perfect pass right on his tape and buried a quick one. We said they needed a quick one, they got a quick one, it's now a 7-5 game here in a little bit of time, get another one, and all of a sudden we have an exciting hockey game here to finish. It's been an exciting game all the way around.
It has been a fun game with little room for breathing. Konsta Hellenius adding to it by way of a primary assist on Anton Wahlberg's goal. Hellenius doing so much work. Feels like that's the ultimate team assist too. That shift basically starts with him acting as a defenseman to let Novikov get up into the play. Ends with him at the net front for the primary. Great chance. Sabres back within 2. Wahlberg scores his first of the Prospects Challenge. Murashov goes behind his net to settle it. A 3 maybe not enough for Pittsburgh. Both teams continue to battle. 7 minutes left. Nadeau behind the net, out in front. Oh, a chance for Fiddler Schultz. Rebound is there. Allowing a try, and it's steered away by Murashov. Almost became a 1-goal game.
Just keep throwing those low pucks to the net. Be there for the second opportunities.
Kalisti dumps this in. Mark to the bench. He and Kluche are trying to be separated by the linesmen. Meanwhile, McCoy settling back in his zone for the Penguins. And he'll head off. Well, the Pens up by 2. No surprise here. You might see more and more moments of this kind of slow it down pace, allow the clock to get closer to 0. Sabres will likely need an aggressive forecheck.
Yeah, and in that scrum over there, Kalisti wise to walk away. It's the last thing the Sabres need right now is a defenseman getting taken off the ice when they're already shorthanded.
Leanders got handcuffed with the puck next to his net. Lives to tell about it. Wahlberg stroking the puck across to Oslin. On the right side, he leaves it for Novikov. Back to Wahlberg, back to Oslin. What a shot, and a great sliding save by Sergei Murashov.
See some creativity there with Oslin, Hellenius, and Wahlberg connecting. I think we're going to see that a lot this coming season, those three working the puck around, snapping it around, Andrew, as the kids say. Maybe an opportunity to take that puck in, you know, maybe accept the pass and get in a little closer to the goaltender, but needless to say, exciting tic-tac-toe play. Murashov there kept himself in position for the save. But you see that shooting lane that, I think it was Oslin that had the shot on net there, the final play. Maybe could have taken it on a stick and walked in a little bit. Possible, right? But needless to say, 6 minutes left, an exciting play. Sabres are coming on here. I think they're feeling that they have an opportunity to pressure the net and get another goal here pretty quickly.
6:04 left. Kulik will step in for the draw. This top line has been just terrific. Rosean, Neuchev, Kulik. And here's Yuri, a big shot, and that one catches the plexiglass. Kalisti pinching in, and he is tackled to the ice. Rosean going after it on the near wall. McRourty with it. And he's tangled up. Neuchev going after Pickering, who leaves it for Bricky, who will emerge from the zone. On to Ponomarov. Johnson after it. It's back in the Buffalo end. Don't want the puck here too much longer. 5 and change to play. McRourty looks out in front. Big shot. And Leanders making the save on Hayes, who was open for 4. Now he grabs Johnson, took the helmet off as he was headlocking and then taking him to the ice. And one wonders if that will merit a call.
Yeah, don't see a hand up, but I certainly could have been worthy of a penalty call there, no doubt. You don't usually get a guy in a headlock and throw him to the ice and not receive a penalty for it.
Well, and on top of it, thank goodness Johnson didn't land head first because his helmet had fallen off before he went down.
That's the second or third dust-up that Avery Hayes has had with a Sabres player today. One of them landed him in the box, but he's definitely been involved, not just scoring goals in today's contest.
Yeah, that helps you become public enemy #1, but he's been at the net front, or he's scored at least one of his 3 goals. Penguins win the draw, attacking zone. Calvert and Lowen are tangled up behind the net. Calvert frees himself, and then he's jammed along by Tullio. Nice hit from the Sabres forward. Lowen stepping in. Backhand steered behind the goal of Murashov. Now 5 minutes remaining. Sun beginning to set outside, as we can see here at Harbor Center. 7-5 Penguins. Sabres looking to rally and carry us into the night. Calvert on the goal line, looks out in front. It pinballed off some skates. Back now for Carlisle, a shot, and that one snaps free of the glass. On to Brunick. Pittsburgh buzzing around now for a shot that looked like it got blocked. Bit of an unorthodox block by Nikita Novikov, but it works out. He'll head off, and both teams regrouping at center ice. St. Fall comes in, looks for Klassen, who took a tumble on his own. St. Fall will just twirl this into the corner. Cloutier after it. Tullio there now for the Sabres. Lifting one through the air. Taken back from Pittsburgh. As Cloutier finds his man. Twisting was St. Fall, and he did fall against Komarov as it slid ahead. Here's a breakaway. Oslin, what a save by Murashov. An unbelievable play. Hail Mary to Noah Oslin for the breakaway. Murashov has the answer.
Oslin had him beat clean, and Murashov just gets that right leg out. It might have even hit a skate blade. That was a nice save there, but also a nice move by Oslin. Came that close to making it another one-goal game.
We've seen some dynamic offense. We're not talking just because the quantity of goals. The quality has been exceptional. Calisti from the left side. Lofts one around the boards. Picked off from Pittsburgh. As Kulik comes into a couple of Penguins, emerges unscathed. Pickering off the boards, finds back. Lobbed in, out the reach of Bros. Kulik will shoulder him off. Puck sputters out to the neutral ice. Penguins doing a good job in that center of the ice area, just constantly collecting these pucks as they tip it the other way.
They've been quick on pucks all game. They've been very quick in transition all game, but especially here also in the third period.
3:02 to go in the third period.
Andrew, these teams have been trading blows all game. I don't think that there's been a shot on goal advantage greater than 3 or 4 at any time. So now we're sitting here 35-34. Penguins have a shot advantage. It's a lot of shots.
A lot of shots. We talk about 12 goals. This game has had the back and forth that we've seen from other games throughout the weekend, that maybe the back and forth was more through fighting majors. We saw some games have as many as 3 fighting majors. This one, you haven't seen that. You've seen I think it's fair to say a better maybe brand of hockey, certainly representative of the modern day game.
Certainly a lot of up and down hockey here in the final 20 minutes.
Without question. Kulik will stab this one into the zone. That Sabres top line getting off. They're going to be counting their shifts here with under 3 to play. Lowen sliced the puck across the ice for Oslin. And again, the Penguins just keeping the puck, and the Sabres players just in that close proximity. A Buffalo Sabre gets the puck, looks up, not a lot of room.
Yeah, they're stacking the zone here. The Penguins are trying to clog that middle of the ice and not let the Sabres, they're not giving them anything, really.
Elenius trying to make something out of nothing. Brought it into the corner, taken into the boards along with the puck. Pens try to wipe it out their zone, and they will. Here on the right side, shoveled back. Komarov with it. Along for Johnson. Peeling this one toward Oslin. Now 2 minutes to go. And it's back on Vsevolod Komarov's stick. Ahead. Penguins once again just at the center of breaking up plays. Tipped the other way by Hayes. Johnson with it. Begin to look as Ryerson Leanders is atop his crease. See if they pull the goaltender for the extra attacker. Bricky with it for Pittsburgh. Sabres need to sustain some pressure in order to get that extra skater on. And instead it's an odd man. Pens have it. Hayes across. Shot, they score. It's Hayes to McRourty. 8-5 Penguins with 1:31 to play.
That top line's been driving the bus all game long for Pittsburgh Penguins today, and Rucker McRourty, recently acquired Rucker McRourty, buries a nice pass there from Avery Hayes. Avery Hayes, I think that might be his 5th point of the afternoon.
I think you're right. Yeah, 3 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, and that was another nice pass. Not much Leanders can do there, getting side to side, especially when you have that, Look, Rucker McGroarty scored a lot of goals at every level. And that was a reason why right there, you saw it all game, really. If you think about it, big body in front of the net. We talked about him being a bull low in the zone, but there he also showed his improved skating. Biggest gains in Rutger McGroarty's games since being drafted is his improved footwork, and we just saw it right there getting down the ice.
13 goals, 70 shots. It has been a game, and an entertaining one at that. The Sabres unfortunately look like they'll end up on the wrong side of. 70 seconds to go. Tangled up right in that slot in front of Leanders as Novikov gallops out to center with it. Finds it on to Cheveldayoff. McCoy settles in for the Pens. We've got under a minute to play. These two teams will meet very soon once again as the NHL preseason officially gets underway at KeyBank Center across the way this Saturday. Sabres have the puck, Cheveldayoff with it, and the rosters will both look probably a little different as you'll see some guys with meaningful NHL games under their belts in those preseason games, and you're also going to see a good amount of these rookies too. Here's Kisakov across the way, a big shot, and that one attempted from Nadeau off target. With speed, here's Kluche. Off for a shot from Klassen. That one turned aside by Leanders. Down to 15 seconds. Big 4-goal period for the Penguins. That's what you look back on in this second. Then they put 3 away here in the third. Neutchev carries it in. 5 seconds. Victor Neutchev falls to his stomach after he's taken into the boards. The horn will sound, and the Penguins will end the Prospects Challenge undefeated, and back-to-back years they will skate out of Buffalo with the best record amongst 6 teams as the Sabres fall by a final of 8-5.
Yeah, Andrew, a little bit of deja vu. Last year on Monday to close the Prospects Challenge, the Sabres had a similar fate, losing to the Pittsburgh Penguins. But at least what's different this year is that maybe success, of course you want to win the game, but I think also success in this game coming away healthy. And I think the Sabres did that today. That was a critical piece of success in this tournament, really. The Sabres couldn't afford to lose any more bodies, losing Norwin Panaka and Jack Bowden earlier on Saturday. So today it's coming away healthy. Good to see, but overall I think the players that you expected to look good, we talked about it coming into the third, they did. Isak Rosén I thought was outstanding today. Yuri Kulik looked good. Noah Ostlund, I thought was exceptional in all 3 games. Had the puck on his stick a ton. And you're seeing some of the Russian players here at center ice getting a photo opportunity.
I was about to say, and Victor Neutchev's like, what about me?
Yeah, chopped liver.
Ponomarov for the Penguins. And I think they're going to try and do it again now with a few more of them.
No Novikov. Where's Novikov? Yeah, so
he was in the photo. Ponomarov was man on an island. Now he and Nadeau together.
Shawinigan. So they were teammates with the Shawinigan Cataracts in the Q a few years ago.
Awesome
nice
stuff there.
You like to see the camaraderie, even if they're on opposite sides for 60 minutes coming together, and that's what's great about hockey.
Well, before we get going, Chris, I think to kind of put it on a bow here is talking about just what the Prospects Challenge means for 6 teams, because you see guys on tryouts, you see guys on NHL deals, 2-way deals, but at the end of the day, you see a lot of players putting an NHL jersey over their head for the first time, and so sometimes these results, it don't matter as much as those moments, and I imagine for some, it's one they won't forget.
Thrill of a lifetime for a lot of these players, not just the first time, but it's also keeping the dream alive for some of these guys that are playing mostly in the Coast League. But here's the other thing. It's not just trying to put on and impress the coaching staff for the team that you're playing for. There are scouts in this building. There's opportunity abroad. 30 teams plus have scouts at this event this weekend. And I think a lot of these guys are going to remember this week for a long time as they launch themselves into their seasons.
One more for you as we get ready to go. The preseason, the official formal NHL